right, guys. First of all, welcome to the coffee shop. Second of all, I'm sure the mods are going to delete this post and probably ban me from the group for a little while. But I got to post something, okay? I just read what OP in this thread actually did. For those of you watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description below. It'll bring you to the Reddit thread that this is referencing, okay? I'm going to use this video to fact check somebody, which I don't normally do. I haven't done it. Somebody asked me if I would start doing these kind of like reaction things to people that are basically bullshit traders, right? Who are really just scamming you out of your money, right? So if I'm going to be the one that kind of saves you from that, bet. Okay, watch this channel. I'll make playlists. I'll make a playlist called the No BS playlist, whatever, right? So anyway, in the Reddit thread, there's an OP, and he's talking about all of this stuff, and he's just kind of flaming about his new, I don't know, some new algo script that he's releasing, and hang on. So let me just kind of back up. All right, go to the link, read the thread, and that will get you caught up. Right. This video is going to be fact checks for his videos. Right. I just watched his videos, a couple of important ones, even his latest video that he did like 12 hours ago. I'm going to fact check this stuff. Right. So today we have ourselves a classic case of someone who knows just enough to be dangerous. And by dangerous, I mean he's going to be dangerous to your wallet if you listen to what he's saying. I just watched this guy's videos, okay? Enough of the videos. And, there's one that's hyping up his new release of some Quantum Edge Pro 2.0 thing, okay? Where was 1.0 or 1.5 or whatever? And, yeah, buckle up. I'm going to fact check the hell out of it and save you from buying into this circus act. Okay, so first off, I'm going to use dialogue that I took from the transcript of his video. So it's his actual words, not stuff I'm making up, okay? So he states that algorithmic and machine learning trading are pretty much the same thing. Machine learning stores information and builds off of that. Algorithmic is more static, unless you have adaptive weighings in CSV files to reoptimize. Those are his words, okay? If you don't understand what that means, don't worry. Let's just flow with this, right? My response to that is, what? What? Machine learning, okay, is actually a subset of algorithmic trading. All machine learning trading is algorithmic, but not all algorithmic trading uses machine learning. You can have simple algos that trade off of an RSI crossover. That means an algorithm is just static code, right? And when you tell it in the code, when this happens, do this. That's all it will do. Algorithmic coding is math. It's static math. So you don't have to kind of overcomplicate it with some big fancy words. It is static coding, all right? That type of coding does not learn. So algorithmic coding does not learn, contrary to what he's saying, right? It just follows rules. Machine learning models, they adapt to patterns from data, current and previous data. Think of a neural net predicting returns, right? So it predicts an outcome based on previous activity, okay? That doesn't mean machine learning models are better. It just means that they're more complicated, but they cannot run off of static coding. That's why, listen here now, right? So machine learning would be the capsule. Inside of that would be algorithmic trading. So algorithmic trading takes place inside of machine learning, not the other way around. It can't, because this is adaptive and it has rules. These are the rules. You with me? Okay. Simple and explained, right? And about those CSV files he's talking about, he's basically saying that machine learning models will attempt to gather information and store the information in CSV files. CSV files are just text formats for storing data. They're not some magic reoptimizing tool. He said the CSV files will reoptimize the machine learning code. No, they don't, okay? Live systems adjust weights in memory or through proper online learning, not by pulling lines of code or text from a spreadsheet. It's not Excel night at grandma's house, okay? Then he starts talking about adaptive weighings and some CSV nonsense. He gets a little bit further into that, right? So, and he says, and I quote, unless you have adaptive weighings and CSV files where it's storing data, and reoptimizing itself. Hmm? What? CSVs don't cause an algorithm to reoptimize itself. Okay? They don't. It doesn't work that way. Actual adaptive systems might use reinforcement learning, Bayesian updating, Kalman filters, or just rolling windows, right? It's using a look back, all happening inside your software, not in a dusty CSV file. Okay? Now, then he gets into the big words, right? His misuse of Monte Carlo and Bayesian fusion. Then he gets all proud of himself saying all these things. Quote, we use Monte Carlo very heavily, and also Kalman confidence and Bayesian fusion. And he goes on, right? Stop saying Monte Carlo. Saying Monte Carlo means nothing if you don't explain it. I don't think he knows how to explain it. Monte Carlo methods are just fancy and random samplings to simulate scenarios. Listen to that, okay? A Monte Carlo is a fancy sampling of random events. Random, not based events, not actual sequences of your rules-based system. It will take random moments, right? And it will see how long your script or your market data will survive. That's it. Kalman confidence. Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure he's trying to say Kalman Mayer, which is actually for survival analysis. It's like estimating how long a hospital patient will live. That's what that is. All right. And I could be wrong. He probably just using the wrong phrase, but if you're going to use the wrong phrase, at least use the wrong one correctly. If you're trying to use the right phrase, at least understand what it means, okay? That's not exactly what you're trying to use for, weighing trading signals, how long someone will survive, right? Then he starts talking about Bayesian fusion. Okay, he's really trying to sound smart here. He's talking about Bayesian fusion. I think he had, off camera, I think he had a little screen over there with some text, and he's going to read, the next text in the line and just kind of remember what that's about or throw it into a sentence. He says, and I quote, Bayesian fusion, right? This is what he says about Bayesian fusion. It's like getting all time frames in one time frame. Okay. Fusing them, weighted, Bayesian confidence adjusts in real time. Yeah, cool story, bro. But Bayesian updating involves priors, likelihoods, and posterior distributions. Again, random sampling. That's where it gets it from, right? Okay, it's actual math, not some Harry Potter spell. Okay, if you can't write out your priors, your likelihoods, and how it updates, you're not doing Bayesian anything. Okay, so he does get one thing right. I will say he does get one thing right, one small thing right. He talks about how you're not supposed to overcomplicate things, right? I have a quote here, okay? All your calculations should complement each other. There shouldn't be any redundancies. Like, you shouldn't have 4 oscillators that all do the same thing. Well, yeah. When you code and you have redundancies, the code will kick out an error. So that's kind of a standard, right? So yes, a redundancy can be bad, but the irony is he can't explain it beyond cliches. If you notice, he just used cliches, the same things you'll find everywhere on the web, right? So on the internets. Meanwhile, he's stacking all these big words like Bayesian, Monte Carlo fusion, CSV, reoptimization, all in the same breath. So who's actually overcomplicating things? Because he's doing all of that without actually describing them, right? So here's what I want you to take away from this. When somebody sprinkles a ton of buzzwords without showing a single equation, code snippet, or even explaining the basic mechanics, all while sitting on what looks like his auntie's couch, it's a giant neon sign that they don't really get it. They don't know what they're talking about. So don't let hype merchants, right? Don't let hype merchants waste your money on a Quantum Edge Pro 2.0 with a bunch of marketing smoke. If you can't break down your model to a 5-year-old or a first-year stats student, okay, or somebody in college or whatever, it probably doesn't exist beyond a sales pitch. If you want me to break down how machine learning trading works versus plain algorithmic trading, with examples that don't involve CSV fairy dust, drop a comment below. If you want, I can also, you can let me know about some more of these trading charlatans that are trying to feed you the BS and maybe even run a real Monte Carlo sim on camera so we can see the difference between buzzwords and actual quant work. Now, bear in mind, for those of you who are coding in PineScript, that is algorithmic trading. There you go. So if you're wondering about algo trading and you are coding in PineScript, you are algo trading. But machine learning would be outside of the algo trading. That would be the strategy that you put the algo trading inside of. Just a heads up on that one, guys. Okay. So yeah, a little bit long here, but I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I had to do this little call out, but this one really got me today. Peace from the coffee shop.